Chosen woman, there is something very special happening in your life at this exact moment, even though your eyes may not yet be able to see it clearly. Maybe you're feeling like you're in the middle of a desert, going through days of silence, carrying doubts in your heart, and wondering if there's still hope for your relationship. But I need to tell you, nothing that's happening is by chance. The universe is conspiring in your favor, and invisible energies are being moved so that something extraordinary can happen. There's a promise from God for you, and this is the time of preparation for it to be fulfilled. You didn't come to this video by mere coincidence. The Lord brought you here because you are a chosen woman, marked to live something grand. This message is a direct word for your heart. It's as if heaven itself bent down to whisper in your ear, "I am taking care of you." Many times, what seems like delay is just a divine process of alignment. God is not only preparing the blessing for your life, He is preparing you to receive that blessing. There are things happening in the spiritual world that you cannot perceive with human eyes. Doors are being opened, hearts are being touched, and barriers that seemed insurmountable are falling to the ground. The reconciliation, restoration, and victory you've been waiting for are not distant dreams. They are closer than you imagine. You were chosen to live a love that reflects God's faithfulness and greatness. And I want you to understand a powerful truth. When the Lord chooses someone, nothing can prevent the fulfillment of the promise. People may have even tried to distance themselves from you, words of discouragement may have been thrown at you, but nothing can nullify what God Himself has already decreed. What seemed lost is being restored. What seemed forgotten is being remembered. What seemed broken is being rebuilt with even greater strength. You were set apart to live a different story. A story where pain gives way to healing, where tears are transformed into smiles, and where loneliness is replaced by a presence that warms your soul. In the coming days, you will perceive small signs that something is moving. Maybe it's a word you hear, a dream that awakens you, or even this video that reached you now. All of this is confirmation of God's care for your life. And I want to invite you, chosen woman, to actively participate in this moment. If you feel that this message reached you at the right time, declare with faith in the comments, "I am chosen." Because when you write it, you materialize in the physical what has already been released in the spiritual. You position yourself as an heir to the promise and align yourself with the word that God has released over your life. Prepare your heart, because this is just the beginning of the revelation. What's about to happen will completely change the way you see love, will restore your confidence, and rekindle your hope. And when you least expect it, the confirmation of this promise will be before you, bringing peace, joy, and the certainty that heaven is on your side. Chosen woman, pay attention, because heaven has already begun to send signs to your heart. Maybe you've felt, in recent days, a different restlessness, a sensation that something is about to happen. Sometimes this movement comes in the form of intense dreams, other times in sudden thoughts that arise from nowhere, bringing to your memory that special person, that love that seemed distant. This is not coincidence. These are spiritual signs, confirmations that there is something being worked by God in a supernatural way. The Holy Spirit has delicate ways of revealing what is to come, and one of them is through your sensitivity. Your feminine intuition is sharper in this time, because you are being prepared to live a reunion that will change your story. You may have even tried to ignore these signs, but they are constant, like small seeds planted in your heart to remind you that the promise is alive. You may have asked yourself, "Is this all in my head? Am I deluding myself?" But the truth is that these signs don't come from chance. There is a divine force moving the pieces of the puzzle of your life, and every detail is being carefully aligned. What seemed lost, What seemed distant is being brought back to you through paths you can't even imagine. That heart that distanced itself, that may have closed itself off, is being touched in an invisible way. Pride is being broken, barriers are being dissolved, and feelings that were dormant are being awakened again. That's why you feel this connection, even without having a logical explanation. It's because in the spiritual world there is already a movement happening toward you. Don't ignore the signs, chosen woman. They are messages that the promise is in progress. Every detail you perceive, every inexplicable sensation, is like a message from heaven saying, "Stay firm, because the time is coming." Often, before the full manifestation of the promise, God sends small confirmations to strengthen your faith. He doesn't want you to lose heart or doubt His care. He wants you to know that He is acting, even in silence, even when your eyes cannot see everything. And I want you to understand something deep. The love that seemed impossible to restore is already being sewn back together by God's hands. His heart is being worked on in secret, and His thoughts are being led back to you. This restlessness you feel is not just yours, it's a reflection of something that's also happening in His heart. There is a spiritual connection between you that neither time, nor distance, nor circumstances can erase. Chosen woman, keep believing, keep perceiving the signs, and don't doubt what God is showing you. Because with each day, with each small confirmation, you are one step closer to seeing with your own eyes what has already been determined in heaven, the reunion, reconciliation, and restoration of your love life. And this is the moment to align with faith, because the signs are just the beginning of what God is about to pour out upon you. What comes next is even deeper, because it's not enough for the other heart to be touched. It's also necessary that your interior be transformed and healed to live this new time. Chosen woman, before God brings you this promise that is already being released in the spiritual world, there is an essential process happening inside your heart. It's an intimate preparation, an inner transformation that will enable you to live this love in a full, mature, and true way. Maybe you still carry memories that hurt, resentments that insist on remaining, guilt that weighs on your conscience. But I need to tell you, the time of these wounds is over. What God desires now is for you to free yourself from everything that binds you to the past, so that you'll be ready to receive the new thing He is bringing. True love doesn't flourish in a heart loaded with resentments. That's why this is the time to align your energy with the divine purpose, to see yourself as the woman of value you truly are. How many times have you diminished yourself because of mistakes made? How many times did you believe you weren't enough, that you didn't deserve complete love? But today heaven is telling you, your value has not diminished. No failure, no rejection, no disappointment was able to erase the precious essence that exists in you. On the contrary, every painful experience was used as an instrument to mold and strengthen you. You are not the same woman as before. Suffering didn't destroy you, it built you. It made you resilient, it made you wise, it made you capable of recognizing what truly matters. And that's exactly why God chose you. Because now you are prepared to live a different story, without repeating patterns that hurt, without giving yourself to shallow loves, but living a solid, restored relationship full of divine presence. This is the moment to forgive yourself. To look within yourself and say, "I release my heart from all pain. I am worthy of love. I deserve a restored life." When you release forgiveness and let go of the weight of negative memories, you open space for the promise to reach you with full force. What's coming is not just a passing reconciliation, but a complete restoration, where every detail of your story will be transformed for your good. And it's not just about the other person changing. It's about you positioning yourself as a valuable woman, who doesn't accept less than what you deserve. Because the Lord doesn't just want to give you a reunion, He wants to give you a new beginning, founded on solid foundations. But for this to happen, you need to see yourself with God's eyes, loved, precious, cared for, and chosen. Chosen woman, receive this truth in the depths of your heart: you are not alone. The Holy Spirit is accompanying you in this healing process. He is pouring balm over your wounds and breathing new life over the areas that were dry. And while this is happening inside you, something is also happening inside Him. The same God who is restoring your interior is working in His heart, preparing Him to align with you. And when this transformation is complete, when you are free, light, and confident in God's love for you, nothing will be able to prevent the manifestation of the promise. Because the next step is already in motion, and you will realize that, on the other side, His heart is also being awakened in a supernatural way. Chosen woman, while you are going through this process of inner transformation, something tremendous is already happening in the spiritual world in favor of your love life. The Lord is not only taking care of your heart, but He is also acting in His heart. There is a divine movement happening at this exact moment, a breath of the Spirit that is touching deeply where you cannot reach. What seemed impossible to your eyes is already being worked by God. That heart that was once hardened, full of pride, fear, or even confusion, is being broken. The Lord is removing every barrier that prevented this reunion. He is taking away the weight of pride, dissolving the doubts, breaking the silence, and implanting a supernatural courage that He never had before. Because when God decides to act, nothing can stop Him. You don't need to chase after Him, you don't need to beg, you don't need to wear yourself out trying to control what is already in the hands of the Almighty. What you need is to rest in the certainty that there is a God who is moving heaven and earth to fulfill the promise in your life. This work is not the result of human effort, it is the result of a divine plan being drawn in detail for you. Imagine, at this exact moment, His heart being invaded by memories, by longing, by a love that never ceased to exist. Imagine His mind being awakened by thoughts that lead Him back to you, by sensations He can no longer ignore. This is not chance, this is purpose. It's God bringing to the surface what He Himself planted. Because when love comes from heaven, it doesn't get lost, it is just kept until the right time. And that time is coming. The restlessness you feel in your spirit is a reflection of what is also happening with Him. The same God who is speaking to you through this message is the God who is speaking to him through signs, dreams, and situations that will lead him to you. It's as if the Lord were organizing an invisible bridge that is bringing you together again, step by step, until the meeting becomes inevitable. Chosen woman, don't underestimate the power of divine action. Often, what seemed to delay, suddenly happens. And when it happens, it's with such great force that it leaves no room for doubt. What was once silence transforms into sincere words, what was once distance transforms into closeness, and what was once uncertainty transforms into firm decision. Therefore, remain at peace. Don't let anxiety steal your confidence. Don't allow fear to make you question what God is already preparing. Everything is being orchestrated perfectly, and when the moment comes, you will understand why you needed to wait. You will realize that every detail had a purpose, that every tear had a reason, and that the Lord never stopped working behind the scenes for you. And while this divine movement continues to intensify, the time approaches when what is today a promise will become reality before your eyes. The next few days will be marked by revelations, by unexpected changes, and by a surprise that will restore your faith in true love. Chosen woman, the time has come for you to prepare your heart, because what was promised is about to manifest. Heaven has already decreed, the divine movement has already begun, and in the next 3 days something special will happen in your love life. This will not be a simple reunion, it will not be just an unexpected message or any ordinary phone call. What will happen will be confirmation that God was in control of every detail, that He was always working silently behind what you couldn't see. You will realize that this is not about a superficial reconciliation, but rather a new beginning founded on solid foundations. The pride that once separated will be broken. The words that were never spoken will be released. The recognition you waited for so long will come to you as an answer from heaven. Prepare yourself, because you will hear what you always wanted to hear, and it won't just be words, but a true decision to walk by your side. This man, who for so long you thought was distant, will begin to see in you the woman that God always showed you are, valuable, strong, worthy of respect and deserving of sincere love. He will be moved to seek you out, not out of need, not out of convenience, but because of a transformation that was born within him, awakened by the action of the Holy Spirit. It will be as if scales fell from his eyes, and suddenly he will understand that his place was always by your side. And you, chosen woman, will realize that the waiting time was not in vain. Every tear, every prayer, every night of silence was, in truth, a seed being watered so that today you could harvest a more mature, firmer, and truer love. What is coming is not just someone's return, but the complete rewriting of your love story. A new phase full of hope, companionship, and fulfilled promises. The Lord did not allow you to come this far for nothing. You were chosen to live an extraordinary turnaround in your love life. And when this promise is fulfilled, it will not only be to restore your faith and love, but so that you may witness God's faithfulness before everyone. Your life will be living proof that the Lord honors those who remain firm, even in the midst of waiting. So, in the next 3 days, be alert. Keep your heart receptive and your mind open. Allow yourself to believe in the impossible, because that is exactly what God will accomplish. This message did not reach you by chance. It is the warning that the time of restoration has come. You don't need to fear, you don't need to doubt. Just declare with faith, I receive the promise, I am chosen and I am ready to live this new beginning. Chosen woman, what was once just hope now transforms into reality. The story that seemed to have come to an end is being rewritten with an ending even more beautiful than you dared to imagine. You are not alone. Heaven stands in your favor, and victory is already being delivered into your hands. Chosen woman, if this message spoke to your heart, don't leave here without hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. This way you'll continue receiving words of hope, motivation, and revelations that strengthen your faith and remind you every day that you are chosen by God. Also share this video with other women who need to hear this message, because together we are stronger.